Thanks for joining us here on 702. It's the start of a brand new week on this Monday, the 16th day of March. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I wish you all the best with your plans this week. We're live this morning from the National Transport Conference here in Midrand at Gallagher Convention Center, brought to you by the Department of Transport, the driver for growth, job creation, inclusivity, and sustainability. We have investors here at the conference. They are innovators, decision makers, and all the other stakeholders under one roof discussing how to build a sustainable system, transport system that works for the economy and job creation. Let's start the show though with the 702 open line. You can give us a call on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. So, how did you find the Chinese Grand Prix yesterday? Kimi Antonelli for Mercedes won his maiden Formula One Grand Prix. He was very brilliant. He is actually the second youngest winner in Formula One history. He started from pole. He managed to maintain control of the race despite a brief challenge from Lewis Hamilton at the start. I mean, there was also a minor off-track excursion late in the race, but he sustained his lead. How incredible was he? Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Lewis Hamilton as well for getting his first podium with Ferrari. I mean, he gave us a show yesterday, didn't he? Lewis and Charles Leclerc, yeah, they were wheel to wheel. What a race though. And you know what? I think we should send flowers to Kim Kardashian, eh? We see you, ma'am. We see the changes that you have brought. I mean, I'm joking here, but my goodness, I'm so happy to see Lewis Hamilton slowly but surely coming back. Let me know what you thought of the Chinese Grand Prix yesterday on 011-883-0702. You can send a WhatsApp voice note as well. Did you watch the Oscars overnight? That was something else that a lot of people stayed up for. One battle after another emerged as the big winner with 6 awards. It was such a brilliant film. I enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. In fact, I'm so happy that Sean Penn won Best Supporting Actor for that movie, because my goodness, his performance was off the charts. Sinners also won big. The movie walked away with 4 awards. Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor. He was also brilliant on that film. I enjoyed his performance. Have you watched any of these movies, by the way, that won big at the Oscars? Or are you the kind of person that, you don't necessarily watch films because they win big or because they are touted to win big at the Oscars? I'm normally the kind of person who checks out the reviews as well of a film before I go check it out. And if there is a film I haven't watched that wins big at the Oscars, I normally go check it out. Is that what you do? And did you catch the SAFTAs as well? Because we had the SAFTAs on Saturday here on home soil. What stood out for you? Give us a call or send us a WhatsApp voice note. Here's another question I have for you. Are you one of those that have claimed from their 2-pot retirement system? Are you? And what did you use that money for? Was it for an emergency? Was it for short-term cash needs? I'm asking this question because Treasury is now considering changes to the 2-pot retirement system, which would include limited access to the funds under strict conditions. And this is because the 2-pot applications that have been received suggests that funds are being used for short-term cash needs. And this is exactly what government was warned about. Remember, a lot of people said, if you open the door that wide and whoever withdraws their money has the carte blanche to use it for whatever reason, that will create problems in the long run. But then again, it's your money. So what if you want to use it to pay off your car? And that's another argument that other people use, who are the proponents for people being given free access to their retirement funds. But remember, our savings record is not that good in this country, and that's why a lot of us end up relying on the state for support when we are older. So these new rules that Treasury is reportedly considering would ensure that you only get access to the retirement fund under very, very, very strict financial distress conditions. How do you feel about that? Are you one of those that have tapped into the savings pot? Have you withdrawn? the money already, and what did you use it for? Because the whole idea of the two-pot system is that you, as a retirement fund member, in financial need, you can access a portion of your savings to pay for emergencies or unforeseen expenses from your savings component while ensuring the balance is preserved until retirement. And I'm just wondering how you would feel about the changes to this two-pot system that would ensure that the criteria for withdrawal is broadened to include specific financial distress conditions. 011-883-0702. That's where you can give us a call. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702. Would you happy with those changes, or do you want to be afforded the right to use your money whichever way you deem it fit? At 10 o'clock, we're going to discuss the decision the ANC in Johannesburg has reportedly taken to recall the mayor of Johannesburg, Dada Morero. I'd like to know, in fact, what you make of this decision taken by the ANC in Johannesburg. I'm happy for us to start this discussion on the 702 open line. Is it a little too late? Also, weren't they defending the mayor's tenure? Even Loyiso Masuku, who is now the second in charge, and I mean, we've all known that when Loyiso Masuku came up, as the deputy mayor, they were putting her on pole position to take over from the mayor of Johannesburg at some point. I suspect she's very much likely to be the mayoral candidate for the ANC in Johannesburg. But she is the deputy mayor, elected a couple of weeks ago, and then suddenly the ANC in Johannesburg takes the decision to recall Dada Morero. Listen to what Loyiso Masuku told me when I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago after she was elected the deputy mayor, and I asked her, how do they feel as the ANC in Johannesburg about Dada Morero? And they've always defended his tenure. So it just doesn't make sense to me that after having defended his tenure, they come back now and say, oh, we actually want him to leave and somebody else must take over. This is what Loyiso Masuku said a couple of weeks ago to me. Can I ask you to wear your hat as the ANC regional chair for a bit now? How satisfied are you as the ANC in Johannesburg about Dada Morero and how he has performed as mayor?
Dada Morero is a deployee of the ANC, working collectively with us in the mayoral committee. He has worked hard to turn around the city. Clement, we are working in a coalition environment. It is not always 100% possible to implement your program of action and your strategic priorities in a coalition government. You have to work within the framework that you agree on with all political parties. He has done so well as it relates to the work in cleaning up the inner city. The turnaround that we've seen, we've approved a turnaround plan in council to deal with the water issues, and I think we've been on the ground to communities to explain the challenges and in terms of where the water challenges were, but you can see already now we've got the Brixton reservoir that has been commissioned, which is going to alleviate a lot of pressure as it relates to and that is the work that has been done under the leadership of Mayor Dada Morero. And I think what we appreciate is that it's a collective effort.
Yeah.
It's a collective effort working together, all of us.
So that's what Loyiso Masuku said. So you tell us that the mayor has actually done good work, and then you come back and you recall him. Just doesn't make sense. But hopefully we'll speak to the ANC about that decision and how they rationalize it. At 10:30, we continue with our series looking at the role of multilateral institutions. Remember, we focused on the United Nations 2 weeks ago. Last week, we looked at the World Bank Organization. Today, we're focusing on the World Trade Organization. This is an organization that sets global trade rules. You know, how countries trade with one another. In fact, I think its rules and regulations govern approximately 98% or so of all trade as of 2024. So we'll bring in someone who'll speak to us more about the role of the World Bank, the World Trade Organization that is, and how have we benefited from it as South Africa and as other developing countries. At 11 o'clock, we're going to do our Family Matters feature. Today, we'll be discussing the effects of incarceration on families. So when someone goes to prison, it's easy for us to think that that punishment stops with the individual. But in reality, the sentence often extends far beyond the prison walls. It reaches spouses, it reaches parents, and most profoundly, children. So how have you been affected by a loved one's incarceration? That's the conversation we'll have at 11 o'clock on our Family Matters feature. That's the show coming up over the next 3 hours.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
All right, let's start with your calls. 011-883-0702. Simpiwe, you're calling us from Senton. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Go ahead.
So, firstly, the Formula One was an amazing race. Congratulations to Kimi. Congratulations to Lewis. But the main reason why I'm calling is I'm waiting for you to retract your statements that you said last year that Lewis Hamilton should retire.
So, is that what you called for me to do? Wait,
Yes.
I didn't say I want him to retire, though. I said I'm worried at the rate he was going that he's not going to be able to wrap up his career on a high. And maybe the best thing to do is for him to maybe just step back a little bit. But I will concede that I'm really surprised by his performance. And I am happily surprised because I've never stopped being a Lewis Hamilton fan, even when I've criticized him, when I thought he's just too busy with many other things and he's not focusing on the race. So I am pleasantly surprised that he seems to be coming back, and I hope that he's going to be consistent with these wins.
Thank you, Clement, and that's all we needed to hear from you. Don't doubt the man. He is the GOAT, the one and only GOAT.
I don't doubt him. No, Simpiwe, I don't doubt him. I'm a different person when it comes to the people I'm a big fan of.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
17 minutes before 10 o'clock. We continue with your calls and WhatsApps here on the 702 open line. 011-883-0702. Let's go to your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702.
Good morning, Clement and everyone else. So I don't follow this racing cars situation, but I'm just interested in finding out, does BMW not participate in this thing? Because I'm only hearing Ferrari and Mercedes. Or which other brands or cars are involved in this thing? Thank you, bye.
Just a question there. When it comes to motor racing, are you allowed to decide to change teams as they are winning or losing? You can go from McLaren to Ferrari to Mercedes whenever you want. Is it like football, whereas you ketile, you are your team, you once you choose a team, it's like a tattoo to your skin? Please advise.
It's like a tattoo to your skin. My understanding is that a lot of the contracts are negotiated before the season ends. So you need to be able to know at the time that the season begins that you already have your teams, driver 1, driver 2. I don't remember a time, and I could be wrong here. Someone please help me out. I don't know if there are instances where mid-season you can just decide that you want to move to another race. But I know that even during mid-season and there's a driver that's performing badly, a lot of the team's approach usually is, let's see it through. If you had signed, let's say, a 3-year contract with Mercedes and you're not really performing and it's still year 1 or year 2 and they don't want to continue with you, you can have a negotiation. And the teams can also negotiate with you and say, we think we want to end this relationship at the end of this year or at the end of next year. And then you take it from there. Oh my goodness, what is that? Is that that's not the security for the deputy minister alone, is it? It can be. We just saw the deputy minister of transport walk in with a huge entourage. And they're walking so fast behind him, it's almost like they're a security. I mean, I'm counting 2, 4, 6, 8, about 8, 9 people around him, and he's there leading in the front. Yeah, that would really be awkward if that is his security, but I don't think it is. It just looked so weird. He looked like a king walking there in front. What I was trying to explain around Formula One is a lot of the teams will say, let's have a conversation about it before the contract ends. We're going to let go of you at the end of the contract, and then they're negotiating it. Normally, I've not seen it often where someone will live mid season. Tulani, you are calling us from Centurion. What are your thoughts? Good morning.
Good morning, Clem. Clem, I was saying at some point you need to give us a master class on this Formula One thing. Some of us find it so boring. It's even more exciting to watch paint dry than to watch Formula One. So maybe you need to give us a master class on this. We just see cars going around the track. Yeah.
No, it's not just cars. Like, oh man, it's more fascinating like that. The minute you get into it, I promise you, you're going to understand the techniques of the cars, how the cars get built, how the rules dictate how the teams are going to perform in the next season. So here's where you can begin. Go watch Drive to Survive on Netflix. It's a series it's a docu-series about Formula One. They speak to these drivers, they do diaries with them, they talk about how specific races went. You're going to pick it up from there, and I think that's how a lot of people have gotten into Formula One, and I think that's how you may just get into it.
Yeah, no, definitely I'll do that. Clem, the last thing I wanted to say, I was listening to your comment about Kulego Sengwa and the entourage that he has. The funny thing about these folks is that as soon as he gets fired tomorrow, you'll see him walking around alone. And you just wonder what happened to all of this scare that he had, the fear that he had to walk around with so many security guards. But thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you, Tilani. And to be fair, guys, I don't think deputy ministers get like 9 bodyguards, right? I don't think those are necessarily his bodyguards. It just looked weird. Like there's someone who came and cleared the path for him. Like, I mean, they were like, come here. They cleared the path, and then he came in the front, and there were like 9 people walking fast behind him as if they are there to protect him. It just looks weird. And I think this is how sometimes people in government sort of get treated. It's, they're like, oh, this is our guy there in front, and then everybody's walking around in the back. It just looked really weird from my vantage point, and that's why it actually disrupted me. I was making a point about Formula One, and I saw him walk past with this entourage behind him. I was like, what is that? But anyway, Formula One, I'm going to try and do a masterclass. So maybe on listener's choice. Let's do something on listener's choice. Maybe because this is a listener asking us to do a masterclass on Formula One. So maybe we'll put it up on listener's choice and bring in a Formula One expert who can come and explain to you how it works. Just the basics, because it's so fascinating. It really is. When you understand the dynamics, the rules, the politics of the FIA, the politics of the drivers themselves, you really get to enjoy it wholeheartedly. All right, it's going up to 11 minutes now before 10 o'clock. After the break, more of your calls and WhatsApp voice notes.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
It's 9 minutes before 10 o'clock. Vusi, let's start with you in 4 ways. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Go ahead.
Thanks, Clement. I just thought I'd call in just to contribute on the discussion on the F1. Particularly, I'll try to be brief, particularly on how the contracts work, and maybe just shed a bit of light on the sport itself, because I'm such a big fan. So the way the contracts work, they work as fixed-term contracts for each of the drivers. So the driver will generally sign a 5-year contract. And to your earlier point, generally either of the manufacturers, so we call them the car manufacturers, so let's say Ferrari, wouldn't terminate the contract, within the contract, within the term of the contract. If they do, they'll obviously have 2 challenges. One, they have to pay the driver, obviously, the balance of the contract. But more importantly, they must have another driver that's available, either from another team, so which means another good driver who's quite reputable must be available from another team. So that's the first alternative. The second alternative is they could either have a driver from their own developmental structures, or they could be eyeing a driver from F2, and F2 is like your, let's call the equivalent of the Motsepe League, in the PSL. So there might be someone coming up. So it's not as easy as, I don't like you, walk away. You have to consider the financial implications as well as the availability of a good driver to take up the second seat.
But as a driver, you can also, as a driver, like with Lewis Hamilton, you can also start negotiations and say, I know our contract is supposed to end in 2 years or 3 years, but I want to opt out.
Correct.
I mean, there will be implications, of course. In fact, the team that maybe even wants you to move from Mercedes probably will say, we'll pay out whatever the consequences are, so you can opt out. But thank you for clarifying that, Vusi. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Vusi. In 4 ways. Let's go to some WhatsApp voice notes on the two-port systems. The WhatsApp's coming on 072 702 1702.
On the two-pot withdrawals, I know, there's a lot of hardship, but at the same time, I've seen our staff, the reasons for which they want to withdraw. For example, they say they want to do house renovations so that the house is ready when they retire, or they want to build a room, supposedly for revenue, etc., etc. But the bottom line is, these are people who earn very low salaries, and there's no way for them to recoup the withdrawal that they make. And they will struggle financially and be a burden on their families when they retire. So I'm very much of two minds about the two-pot situation that came up. I think our pension, monies, as hard as it is, should actually be untouchable. It's a tough call.
Good morning, Clement Manyathela and your 702 team. This is Elton Gordon out in Pinetown, eThekwini, KwaZulu-Natal. With this new two-pot, or now known as the two-component system, Mr. Manyathela, the tax brackets are crazy. It's so sad that people are caught between a rock and a hard place, where they really need money, as the one caller was just talking about school fees. But I just think that when it comes to the amount of tax, I just think that workers got a raw end of the deal. That's my personal opinion. I'm speaking purely also as somebody that represents workers on a daily basis. Yeah, no, it's quite hectic. Thank you for a great show. Keep it up, guys.
Good morning, Clement and 702 listeners, Mirokwatan, Pretoria. Clement, this thing of National Treasury want to control government, people's money is wrong. This National Treasury, they are the one who changed the law. This two-pot money was supposed to relieve people from their burden. And now they restricted people to withdraw up to 30,000, while the intention was to relieve people. Now they are coming again that they want to put other measures. This National Treasury, they must leave us with our money and we use it the way we want.
Yeah, hey, the thing is though, if you are allowing people to just use the money as they want and just come in and get whatever they want and don't have to indicate whether they want to use it for emergencies, is that you're opening the door that's going to be quite problematic in the future. Like historically in this country, we don't have a good savings record. A lot of the people end up retiring and they don't have enough in their retirement to take care of them. So you end up being, for lack of a better word, a burden, so to speak, for the state. So you rely heavily on the state. And of course it's understandable because some people just don't have money to save. They don't have money to put in a lot in their retirement savings. And a lot of other people are in poverty. Many people have lost jobs after COVID-19. They want to send their kids to school. So what should they do? I mean, if there's a 500,000 Rand or 200,000 Rand that they can access in the retirement savings, why can't they do that? Take their children to school. Their children are going to be empowered to maybe also help take care of them once they have retired. So what's the point of having some money saved up somewhere, locked up, unable to access it? Who knows how much time you have in this world that you are unable to even access it, to use it for your children's retirement or for your children's education. So I think there needs to be a balance. But what we have seen is that a lot of people are coming, they take the money, they're just buying new couches. Someone comes, pays off their car. Emergencies are subjective to all of us, and I just think we need to be extra careful and balance it out. Don't open the door too wide for it to be exploited. More of your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702.
Hey, good morning, Clement. Lovely show as always. My name is Tsepo. Just wanted to comment on one of the voice notes around BMW, whether it is part of the Formula One or not. It was part of Formula One. I think it was in the 90s and the early 2000s, including Renault, which was Renault, and also Toyota as well. I think the issue is that Formula One is very cash intensive, so having a team is extremely expensive.
Morning, Clement and the listeners. This is Mledisi here. Yeah, on Formula One, I think you are spot on. If someone is a beginner, they can really watch that Drive to Survive. It helps. But yeah, I enjoyed the race. I mean, I think once I hear a lot of people say it's just cars going around, but once you start to understand the little battles that are going on, I mean, there was that Hamilton and Leclerc, it was, you know, those are the moments. And then the overtaking, you know, the start where Lewis jumps to the front and that. So they are very good moments once you understand the battles going on the day. I mean, we also saw it was between, you know, Haas and Alpine. They had a time where they were going at each other, swapping positions and that. So yeah, for me, I enjoy those battles in the race. I think it was pretty clear from the beginning that barring an accident, Antonelli was gonna win. But yeah, it was fabulous. It was a nice race.
Yeah, no, it was. And you know, I always, when I watch Formula One, there are three things I'm always looking forward to. So one, because there are different dynamics, elements, right? One, the car. The minute you understand the composition of the car, what the limitations have been in as far as the FIA regulations are, you look forward to the car's performance. So I always, of course, like many people, look at the car. But secondly, the driver. Because you can have a fast car, but if you don't have a good strategic driver, then you're as good as a failure. Because you still need to be quite a brilliant driver to be able to use a brilliant fast car. So you look at the driver and how they perform. And thirdly, what's fascinating to me always is just the strategy of the teams. That's another component to look at. What is the team's strategy? Are they going for a one-stop? Are they going for a two-stop race? Whatever that decision is can mess up the entire race or improve it in some way. So those are three components, the elements I'm always looking forward to in the race. It's a Formula One. It's a fascinating sport. Go check out Drive to Survive on Netflix if you're a beginner, and I tell you, in a few months' time, you're going to be the biggest fan ever. Let's get the news.